Hey Gutfoxx here. Today I'm going to go through the best budget cards at every position in this video, and I don't just want to tell you like the cards themselves, but I kind of want to give you like the fundamental tips for why they're budget cards. And like I'm not going to include any of like the earned rewards that are free face of the franchise guy that you just get for grinding out the game. Obviously, you know, I did a video on those. You can take a look. We're going to go position by positions just for players on the market, and we're going to kind of see which cards are good and why. Now let's start with pitching, right? Starters first. The things that you want to look through. Let's just look through the Gausman right here. He's not one of my choices, but the things that are most important to a starting pitcher are hits per nine, which is, I would say, arguably number two, with number one being the pitch mix. Okay. So the upper corner of your screen, you see the pitch velocities, you see the pitches right underneath that. You can hit right stick in to see their control. You can see their pitch break. Now, all of that is very important. Now, if you're on the lower end of the ladder, I think control matters a little bit less because it's a little easier to place your pitches, but I will say, don't write it off. Okay, because if you're even like in BR with like when I'm trying to throw with a rollerless Chapman, I will miss it. And there's nothing easier to hit than a ball right down the middle of the plate, whether it's like high, low, center area, you're having trouble, right? Because all you do is slam your PCI and it's great. So those things are the most important. So hits per nine, Freddie Peralta, 101. It's crazy. Now his pitch mix though. Okay, the best pitches in the game, in my opinion, right now, sinker, changeups, probably like circle changes. I will say like splitters are great too. Anything like, you know, a downward movement to that, it kind of looks like a fastball coming in. But I think sinkers, changeups, I like cutters. Sliders are a little bit more loopy this year. Slurves are pretty solid. Curveballs are okay. You want like pitches that kind of move in different directions too. So you want like a sinker or a fastball to combine with like a cutter and like a slider to move horizontally, and then like a vertical breaking one, a curveball, or more importantly, a changeup. So let's go ahead and look down the list of players. That not all players will have all these things that we want. Something like DL Hall, this card right here. Right? Fastball. Velocity also matters. And the differences between your pitch velocities really do mean a lot. I meant to go, Mick Abel, 78 hits per nine is not incredible, but a sinker and a hard sinker, very nice. This is a nice card. Now, the difference between a circle change and a sinker is not dramatic. It's only 7 miles per hour. The bigger that difference, the more effective that circle change is. But he's got a curve to go down to 80, a slider about the same speed as a circle change. So I think Abel is a pretty good card. 3,000. I really like this Charlie Morton card. 95 mile per hour sinker. He's got a cutter, a circle change. He doesn't have a slider, but you can kind of use that cutter as a slider side to side. I love the pitch break on everything except for the cutter. So his cutter is his weakest pitch, but I think Charlie Morton, just due to the velocity of the sinker alone, along with a few of his off-speed stuff, is nice. Wish he had like a slider. Now, Trevor Bauer has a cutter slider. Like, two-seamers are a little bit better this year, but he's only got 48 pitch break, so it's not great. But the rest of his pitches, breaking 99 on the knuckle slider cutter, and you know, four-seam, but four-seam doesn't really have a lot of velocity. Yu Darvish has a very nice, slow curve. It's a very rare pitch in the game, and rare pitches are nice to have. So, Yu Darvish coming in with like the decent cheese at 95 for the four-seamer, cutter, slider, splitter, and then a really slow curve that people are going to struggle with. So a little bit lower on the list, I want to take a look at guys like, does Mueller have, no, he doesn't have it. I think Logan Webb. Logan Webb's got a higher card. I think no, the Logan Webb card is a face of the franchise. This card with a 93 mile per hour sinker and a cutter, changeup, slider, great pitch mix. Hits per nine's a little low, so you might get touched up a little bit with him. But when you look at the pitches itself, control is nice, and break on the sinker and changeup is insane on this Logan Webb card. So this card's good until you earn his face of the franchise. Contrera Sinker is incredible on this guy with 95 miles per hour, 87 break, with 86 control too, so you can't really write that off. This card, Outlier 1, so it's even faster. Outlier means it's going to go above what you see. Like Outlier 1 on like, or any outlier, like a fastball means the four-seamer is going like 101. The sinker will be up to 98, which, you know, some people say it's less effective because it's got less break on it at higher velocities. And it's true, but you're going to see people struggle with Alcantara's little sinker right there. Another good player, I don't mind this Musgrove. I don't think he's like glitchy, but I think he'll get you outs for your team. Sinker, cutter, slider, curveball. No changeup really does hurt him a little bit. Blake Snell's kind of got a weird release if you need a lefty. He doesn't have a great pitch mix. 84 hits per nine is nice, but it is a kind of a weird release that might take people a little bit to catch up to. He's all right. Who else am I looking at? This card's kind of expensive, I think, due to sets. Bassett, if I recall correctly, is a very nice player too. 77 hits per 9, but he's got sinker, cutter, circle, slider. I love that pitch mix. The break on the pitches, you know, that circle change is really going to move quite a bit. So not a huge difference in velocity between the two. Who else are like? Is this Montas? No, not Montas. Paxton's kind of, Paxton works a little bit. Corey Kluber. Now, Kluber, you get like, oh, he's got awful hits per 9. You're right. Kluber's been kind of weird because it's the way he throws the ball. Like, even though the sinker's only got a 70 pitch break, it breaks a lot more than that. And then a slurve with 98 break on it, it's kind of sweet. Now, he's not really a hard thrower, which means people are going to be able to catch up to him a little bit. But overall, Kluber's just kind of proven himself over the years. Dustin May, because of that hard sinker, yeah, he has outlier on it too. This is a nice card. The only downside of this card is no changeup, but you'll end up using like his slurve and his cutter as like your off speeds. But the cutter's not being that different than sinker. You're really gonna live on the sinker cutter combo. Rogers, no. Who's another decent? Castillo, I don't mind if you want to. We're dipping into the silvers here. Sinker, slider, circle. Really like the three horsemen of the pitching apocalypse. So really, you know, you're basically going as low as you want to go for your ranked season starters right there at the starting pitching. Let's go to the relievers. Now, relievers, it's crazy because a lot of these gold relievers are better than the diamonds, right? Like one of the best, like we got, I guess we can combine closing pitchers and relief pitchers. Like Chapman's a gold, but like he's priced like a, I guess not really like a diamond, but like there's a reason why Chapman is so expensive because he throws hard and a lot of people have trouble hitting this Chapman card. So he's like basically a must need for your bullpen. A lot of people like Class A here because he throws an outlier cutter that is rare. The issue is he's basically at 2 pitches between the cutter slider. You can argue the 4-seamers there too, but I'd probably be rather throwing a cutter stuff there. I really like Taylor Rogers with a hard sinker and a slow sweeping. Just no as a lefty, if you need lefties, he's not a bad one to go to. I don't really like the way Kenley Jansen throws the ball. I don't know. Iglesias has like a weird throw. Even though his pitch mix isn't great, he's got high per 9s, and it's kind of glitchy, okay? The way he throws the ball, even though I don't love his pitch mix exactly. I might be missing somebody here, but that's okay. TJ's got a nice little sinker here in a slurve slider combo. Really a 2-pitch pitcher, but the sinker alone is enough to cover to get a lot of people out. Not Melanson. Zach Britton, if you need another lefty. He's been severely nerfed this year. He's way worse than I've seen him in the past. This is probably the worst Britton card I've seen in a while, but 93 hits per 9 is nice. The sinker only at 93. Slider, no changeup is devastating to this card, even though he's got really good pitch break on the sinker and slider. Trevino, this might be the best reliever in the game, at least like short of maybe some of the top end diamonds. This Trevino card is like you literally must add this to your bullpen. I see like Gunsky's using this, and he's like, I don't know, is he in Legend yet? One of the best players in the game. A hard sinker, a good cutter, circle change, and a slurve. Are you kidding me? And then high hits per 9. Now you're like walks per 9. I mean, he's a 72. You're giving up a little bit of that commands and walks per 9, but like look at the pitch controls. They're like 80s to 93. And then look at the breaks too. Circle and slurve at dang near 90 breaks. Sinker also. So I think this is like a must add to your bullpen, this Trevino card. So we talked about Britton if you need a lefty. Any other low end? Soto, does he have? Yeah, he has an outlier sinker if you want to like, you know, throw just hard stuff from the southpaw. He's pretty nice like that. For something like that, let's keep rolling down. Let's go down to the relief pitchers. That was closing pitchers. I really like Graveman, sinker, slider, circle, curve. And 98 hits per 9. This is a really nice reliever too. Did I talk about this Diego Castillo? I like Castillo here too. I really enjoy, if you're filling out, you know, Darren O'Day is like a sidewinder. He throws from like a half release. You don't see it a whole lot. It throws people off. Chris Morton has got really nice stuff too between the cutter, slider, sinker, change. The problem is his hits per 9 is super low. He's got really good control there and walks per 9. Pitch control and then pitch break. That slider is absolutely going to be devastating out of Martin's hand. Is Loop any good? I think Loop is okay. He's a little bit of a soft tosser there at the low 90s. Yeah, Lasagna here is got an outlier. He's got his sinker is an outlier sinker. It's crazy. Slurve, circle, slider. plenty of decent budget. I think out of any position, I think reliever is the one that you could go even down to bronze. Like I showed that then, that 72 bronze. Silver relieving in your pen early on is more than enough. You really want to kind of spend more of your stubs maybe on the field. Maybe starters going a little bit more, but really you want to get like maybe hitters first and wait on your bullpen later. Just get some, because there are some really nice low end overall relievers. As for catchers, a little bit of a harder spot. I think like early on you can go somebody with more power. You can see behind my head power here. Let me get out of the way of the circles here so you guys can see this a little bit better. You want somebody with good power, right? Defense is always nice, but you want someone to hit the ball out of the park. So you really want to like try and max out that power. Power righties, you can go like Will Smith. You can slap the ball with him a little bit. You have just going down. Zunino's got a really nice swing. I like Zunino. Not great contact, but because we're only playing on like, you know, veteran and all-star difficulties, the contact, it's going to be a small. It's going to be a small PCI, but if you can get the ball in that PCI, it's going out of the park. I like this Zunino card. He always plays well in BR. I've used him quite a bit. Who else is a nice Haas here against lefties only? And then we're really low overall right here. El Gary. This is a phenomenal. 81 arms, so you'll get a lot of the base runners along with high-end power. You're just giving up that contact. So El Gary should probably be your catcher to start the game if you have very little stubs. And then you can kind of move up to the other ones I mentioned. As for first base, there's some guys that can hit both sides, right? Pete Alonso can match the ball as a right-handed hitter, both righties and lefties. He's also like playing up, so he's got max power today. We'll see what it ends up being tomorrow. Lou Gehrig is all right, but you really do want power out of this position since there's not a lot of power. If Joey Vado is a phenomenal bench bat, if you bring him off the bench against righties, you are going to absolutely get some good things going for you. So it depends also if you want to like platoon this situation, but platoon first base where you know just flop righties and lefties depending on what the opponent's starter is, and you sub them out at the beginning of the game. But really, you're looking for something like high 80s, 90s plus power here against both sides. Pujols may be a good pinch hitter for you. He's got 0 speed, which I think is hilarious. Who's a nice solid? I think I went through a few of the best first basemen that I like. Everything down here. Snell's got a really nice swing, but again, off the bench only, in my opinion. So you maybe want to go with what I talked about up here with Alonso for 2,400 stubs, and then grab some of these guys like Walsh off the bench. He's plus 14 against lefties today, which is kind of insane. Second base right here, Nick Gonzalez got a really sweet swing. Pirates love, and you know that's me being biased. Otherwise, Ozzie Albies is always seeming to get hits for me because he's a switch hitter. And having a switch hitter in your lineup is a huge advantage. Always being on the good side of the platoon. Cronenworth, I think Brandon Lowe, though, this guy right here, second base with that kind of power, especially a left-handed bat. A lot of the bats you're going to see in this are right-handed. I think Brandon Lowe might just need to be your starting first baseman right away. And that's also why he's expensive, right? Probably part of the collection since Tampa doesn't have a lot of diamonds, but also because he is absolutely like, I don't want to say like a super anomaly at second base. We got some decent second basemen with power. Jonathan Schoop right there. Some other guys. Let me just filter down through the power. I'm not sure there's a lot of other guys with a ton of power. Gleyber, I don't. If you want to only spend like a very little amount, I think Gleyber is okay early on. I don't love his fielding though. You will have errors there, so if you want to go somebody more defensive focused, but you know defense is cool, but we might want to go with somebody you know that can hit dong shots at second base, along with have a pretty decent defense. So yeah, I guess you probably want to spend at least 1,000 stubs on this position to get somebody pretty good at that location. Up the middle defense is very important. Third base, Devers is like a monster. Another player, I think Rendon's, he's got an okay. If you want pure defense, Matt Chapman, he's okay with the bat. Donaldson's got a really cool swing. I really like the way Donaldson swings the ball now. His power against righties isn't going to really like do you a lot of favors. You can platoon him with like a lefty. McMahon has a really nice. I might go McMahon right away for a lot of teams, even though his attributes aren't high. He, if you remember last year, was an absolute stud swinging the bat here. Key Brown, if you want more defense. He just hurt himself today. Suarez, if you want power. Not a lot of I think his defense is like, I kind of want defense at 70, but early on you have to sacrifice something. And you know, you want to be able to hit the ball. If you're bad at the game, maybe you want to focus a little bit more on contact. to get your PCI bigger, but man, why contact when you take wisdom and just shake him yard if you ever get close to the ball? Castlianos is always fun to meme around with, though. All right, next up, shortstop. Shortstop, again, up the middle defense, very important. So you can go someone like, I want somebody who's fast too. So defense and speed. Baez is okay for that role right there. 3,200, I don't know if you consider that budget for you or not. Really depends on what you're looking at here and how much you're going for. But I mean, there's a lot of solid players. Like Lindor, like a switch hitting, like if you go to switch hitting with Lindor and Albies up the middle, I don't think you're going too wrong. Yeah, your attributes there aren't the greatest at the dish, but having those sweet fielders along with always having the platoon advantage makes your life a little bit easier. Otherwise, you can go something with Tim Anderson, higher contact, okay fielding, okay speed. I think that's a great choice too. But there is a lot of decent options here at shortstop, depending on what you want. I think Mondesi might be the single like biggest overperformer for stats in the entire game, and he's been that way for 3 years. Alberto Mondesi, you see him out on the field, he's got like this like really chopped swing, and it just drives liners. I don't know. I think the bat spends a lot of time in the zone with him, and it's really quick, and it's off both sides of the plate. Again, switch hitter. So I think Alberto Mondesi should probably be the guy you start with. 600 stubs right there. At left field, let's take a look. Outfield defense matters, right? So you look at somebody like Castlianos and be like, oh man, how can I not have this guy? Well, I mean, 57 reaction, 61 speed, 49 arm. I had this guy like throw like what a high schooler would throw, trying to throw home. So I don't love Castlianos in the outfield. He's better off at first or third. Like if you get him to be your first baseman, I think you're gonna have a great time. I think Castlianos, put him there. Third base, really low arm, but Castlianos is good there. Winker as a bench bat. Otherwise, the platoon bat is nice. Gallo might be that dude if you're pretty good with your PCI. Lower difficulties makes it a little easier. If you're bad with your PCI, he might not be that dude. But like look at his like reaction, arm, fielding. Gallo is so good early on. That's like, he was like an immortal a few years ago for how good he is. Tyler O'Neill, of course, has got his supercharged boost today. But overall, I love this guy, right? Look at his quirks too. He's got dead red and breaking ball hitters. So no matter what the pitcher throws you, a fastball or a breaking pitch, you're going to have a quirk giving you bonuses to either your contact or power. You also have like night player, homebody, first pitch hitter, rally monkey. So overall, I think like Tyler O'Neill is the left fielder that you should be using right away. Tyler O'Neill, absolutely that dude. All right. So there's a few good options in left field. Center field, Brian Reynolds, being as a Pirates fan, I like his mix and being a switch hitter. So he's got good contact, right? So if you're not great with the PCI, a good card. He's not going to mash a lot of home runs for you, especially against lefties there, but okay speed, pretty decent fielding. And I think just having that advantage of the platoon, especially with high PCIs or big PCIs, will kind of help you. He's got a nice swing. It's not like the glitchiest, not like El Roberto Mondesi or anything, but it's all right. We also have Kyle Lewis, but he's not the greatest with reaction. Really depends on what you're sacrificing. Once you get into the silvers here, center field, you do want good defense. You could go heavier on the defense and just like hit them near the end of your lineup just so you can like get it in there. Hilliard, not the greatest reaction because the center fielder is going to field the most balls in the outfield for obvious reasons. So getting somebody that can like really hawk them down, high speed, high reaction, fielding, that kind of stuff, it's kind of important. So maybe spend a little bit more, like I said, in up the center defense than you would at other spots. Cedric Mullins is a nice card too. Right field. Right field, you might be able to hide someone, but you don't really need to. I mean, Hunter Renfro, it's kind of like a hide-ish. 51 speed is not going to hawk down balls. I'll tell you that right now. But look at that reaction. Look at that arm. You are going to throw people out with Hunter Renfro, and you're going to hit the balls out the park with the power. So maybe you can try yourself. I've recommended a lot of power guys. This Renfro I know is free from like grinding the BR program. He's expensive right now because people are using him for sets and everything. But overall, Teoscar Hernandez is okay. I really don't like his fielding there though. But good at the dish. A lot of cards good at the dish. There's Hunter Renfro's live series. Pollock I think is pretty balanced, but 55 reaction. I actually don't like that card now. Duval, 78 speed with 82 reaction. Okay, I'll take that. Merrifield, not good enough at the bat right now. Nelson Cruz is the perfect bench bet. Do not try and use this guy in the field, though. You will regret it. Like, within the first time he gets the ball hit to him, you're going to regret Nelson Cruz in the field. But he's great bench bat to pick up. I'm looking down a little bit more. Any of these other guys that I really, truly enjoy using. Reyes, not great in the field. But yeah, because outfield defense absolutely matters this year, and it's not something you can avoid or ignore. Like that Renfro's speed, 51, is about as low as I'd want to go. Even there, it's stretching. I've been using him in BR, and he really, it shows up, but I think his reactions help him a little bit get to balls that he might not be able to otherwise with 98 there. So anyways, that's my recommendations for budget cards early on in the game. I hope that helps you guys. Let me know if you guys got any questions in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Really helps out. Please subscribe. It's free. It's great. It'll help hair grow or not grow, whatever the ones that you do or don't want to happen. It's basically like a miracle drug, subscribing. Thank you for watching and being a friend. See you tomorrow.